I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Yes, that's the opening to every one of my videos. I want to say it over and over and over again until it's burned into your brain. Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. I take some criticism for my opening. I mean, people are like, why do you keep doing that? I do it because I do it. Because it's a free country. This is America. I can do whatever the I want. Oh, we're going to talk about Red Rising. Book number 1 in the, I guess it's the Red Rising series, right? I got the whole shebang here. I got them all. Got them all. You know, I started reading these for one reason and one reason only. Because Tim Gerard Reynolds is the narrator of these books on Audible. And guess what other books Tim Gerard Reynolds narrates on Audible? Well, The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown by Brian Lee Durfee, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. I have the same exact voice narrator as Pierce Brown in the Red Rising series. So you know, and just another thing, I'll be done with my own self-promotion here in a second, but just so you know, The Forgetting Moon, narrated by Tim Gerard Reynolds, was the number 2 largest selling book on Audible and Amazon.com in July of 2019. That is a fact. Enough about me. Let's talk about Red Rising. I didn't read it. I actually listened to it on Audible, narrated by Tim Gerard Reynolds, because Tim Gerard Reynolds is the man. He's the main man. He's my mainest man. I love books narrated by Tim Gerard Reynolds. Actually, I start collecting them now just because, on Audible, just because he narrated my own books. And, you know, when once that happens, you just like, oh, you just, it's just something you do. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's a great book. It's a great book, man. Reminiscent of a lot of things. I think this Red Rising book, it pulls, and this whole series, well, I don't know, we'll review those later. Right now we're just reviewing Red Rising, but it pulls from a lot of sources. Lord of the Flies, The Hunger Games, Ender's Game. If you like those books, you're going to like this one. I think it pulls a lot of its themes and action sequences and plot and pacing and characterization from a lot of sources, which is great because all authors pull from all sources, and this is fine. I think for a sort of science fiction dystopian type of book, which this is, I think it does a great job, and I think it hits it out of the park, and I think it takes all of the best of those aforementioned works and just blends them into a great story. What is that story? Well, it's set on Mars with our character Darrow. His name is Darrow, and he's sort of our protagonist. He's a red, what they call a red. The society is cast into different colors. Like the golds are the elite. They have the superpowers, all the money. The rich people, they are the golds. They are the elites. And the reds are sort of like the peasant class. They are the ones that work in the mines and the farms, things like this. Darrow works in a mine underneath the surface of Mars with his family, completely oblivious to what's going on in the rest of the universe, you know, because they just work down there in the mines. He's married to a sort of a little fiery revolutionary named Io. And Io mouths off. This is right within the first few chapters, so we're not giving away any spoilers. His wife sort of mouths off to the wrong people, and they execute her, which sends Darrow off onto his quest to, you know, make things right in this dystopian world of class versus class. And he's thrust into this sort of training school where, and I won't get into the hows and wheretofores and how he gets thrust into the training school, because that would be giving away some plot spoilers that I don't want to give away. But let's just say about a third of the way through the book, he gets thrust into this training school, much like Ender Wiggin, or the training school sort of turns into this Hunger Games, Lord of the Flies mishmash, where it's like only the elite soldiers are going to survive this training school. And it's a lot like the Hunger Games in that you got to kind of fight your fellow soldier to see who's the better leader, the better person, the better warrior. And so that's the way this sort of battle school is set up. And it's very steeped in Greek mythology and Roman. It's very Trojan horse, Roman looking sort of battle school. And our boy Darrow is thrust into this. He's taken out of his peasant existence and thrust into this elite battle school. And now we're in a battle school with a lot of different characters that are all super. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of side characters in this battle school. Like 3 times as many as in Ender's Game. 5 times as many that were in the Hunger Games. There's a lot of people thrust into this battle school. And the main ones are very well drawn out. I mean, some of the ones that stand out are Cassius and Titus and Pax. Severo, the Jackal. I mean, and this battle school is brutal. This is not for kids. This is brutal. I mean, the people in this battle school treat the other contestants in the battle school awful. It's full of murder, rape, cannibalism, and just brutality. And some of the characters come across as just so evil. Some come across as so heroic, so innocent. I mean, it's got all of that. Did I like the book, though? That's the question. I mean, I listened to Tim Gerard Reynolds narrate this thing. I listened to it. When I listen to the audiobooks, it's typically just in my car as I'm driving to and forth between things. So sometimes can take 2 or 3 weeks for an audiobook to run its course just as I'm driving. Unless I'm on a long trip, and then sometimes I can listen to 1 or 2 just on the whole trip. But that aside, Red Rising by Pierce Brown takes all of the great things we love about Ender's Game, Lord of the Flies, Hunger Games, mashes them all up into a science fiction epic dystopian world set on Mars. It's got a nice map, too. That's another thing, I always, we talk about the covers, which we didn't talk about the cover up front. Normally I talk about the covers up front. Let's talk about it now. These books are simply designed, elegantly designed. I think they're fine. I think they were going sort of for the Hunger Games feel. Hey, if you like the design and story of Hunger Games, you're going to like the design and story of Red Rising. There is this great little map of the battlefield. I mean, the battlefield doesn't even come into play until halfway through the book. But they did have this because I was reading the first half of the book going, well, this map means nothing to me. And then halfway, then you get it when you get to the battlefield where they're all playing like they're Greek gods and killing each other. Anyway, great little map, great cover. I think that it's good cover. Was this the best thing that I've ever read? No, I liked it though, but I didn't read it. I had Tim Gerard Reynolds read it to me. And you can also have Tim Gerard Reynolds read The Forgetting Moon, published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press, to you. You can. He's, in my opinion, the greatest voice narrator on Audible. And a lot of people will agree with me on that. This guy narrates a lot of big-time books. I liked Red Rising. Liked it a lot. And from what I've heard about these other books, I'm going to like these other books even better because these other books actually get us out into space opera, starship, shoot 'em up territory. Because now that our main man is out of the battle school, now he's like a starship captain in these other books. And I think I'm going to love them. This I am going to give a 7.5 out of 10. The only things that I didn't like about it was told in the first person from Darrow's point of view. Those are hard. Those kind of books are hard sells for me. I maybe would have liked it a little better if it was just told from more of an omnipresent view, but that's just a minor quibble. I thought this was a good book. 7.5 out of 10, Red Rising. Can't wait to get to the others, and I will be listening to the others on Audible because they're all narrated by the great narrator Tim Gerard Reynolds, if I haven't already mentioned that. Red Rising, 7.5 out of 10. Everybody should be reading this series.